he started doing a lot of things, and the same thing with us. We go through some stuff like that and everything, and we don't understand why. And the problem is that we don't seek His voice. We don't seek His guidance. We don't ask Him, even for the little things. Should I go there, Lord? Do you want me to go there? I get invited to go preach at different places, and I don't accept every invitation. I ask the Lord, Lord, should I go? Shouldn't I go? Every conference, oh, go to that conference. Go to this. You know what? I am tired of being a spiritual vagabond. And I set myself in 2013 to every single little thing that I'm going to do, seek His face. Bring it to the throne, you know, in prayer. And I want to tell you guys a story. And I was debating whether to bring this up or not. And then Pastor Benny today, he put a post on Facebook that I want to read it to you guys, and it's going to tie everything in. So I knew that the Lord was speaking to me. But the story I'm about to tell you is about, it was written about 130 years ago by a man named Russell Honeywell. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. This story is true, and this book became so popular, so popular that he raised $7 million, 130 years ago, $7 million. And with that money, he founded Temple University in Philadelphia. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but and because of that, that story had so much. It was such an amazing story that he was able to get all that money and everything. So, but the name of the story is Acres of Diamonds. There's a book called Acres of Diamonds. Look it up, read it, and it's going to be give you a lot of insight in what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. And I'm going to tell you the story. The story is about a farmer that had his field. Year after year, he had his old ox with the same plow. He lived in a little shack with his family, and year after year after year after year, he worked the field, and he barely made it every year. Barely made it every year. And one day, a traveler came by and told him that something was taking place in India, that people were going out there because they had found diamonds. They had found diamonds. And he was telling him that people would go virtually overnight from rags to riches because of this. So the farmer was so excited. He was super excited that he said, well, you know what? I'm going to go after this. I'm going to go chasing after this. And he sold his farm. He sold everything in it, put his family in a room, in an inn, motel room, whatever, Motel 6. They lived the life on for him. He put him there with enough money to keep him for a while, and he figured, well, I'm going to go out and chase this dream. And the story goes on to say that he went to India, then from there he went to France, he went to a lot of different places searching for this fortune. And he ended up in Spain, completely broke. He didn't find it. But he went out chasing here, chasing there, chasing here, chasing there. And he just did not find anything. And the story goes on to say that he dove himself into a raging river and died. But on the other hand, the saddest part of everything is that he, the farmer that bought the land, picture this, he was still working the same field, with the same ox, with the same plow, living in the same shack. He was doing the same thing. But one day he was working the field and he found a big piece of rock, dark rock with some bright spots and everything. And he said that when he put it up to the sun, it looked like he had a rainbow stuck inside. So, and he noticed that he had tons of that stuff everywhere. And he's like, well, I'm gonna have to clean this up so I can do my sowing to prepare the field. And what happened was that he did that. He grabbed the rock, he went home, and he put it in his mantle in a little shack in that country. You can just imagine just putting it right there. And one day, a pastor came to see him. And as he walked in, the pastor couldn't believe it. He took a step inside the shack, and he saw that. And he said, where in this world did you find that? He said, oh, I have plenty of that stuff outside, and I'm a little frustrated because I bought this land and I hadn't really gotten to that field yet. And all of a sudden, now that I'm ready to start working it, I found all these rocks and everything. And he said, well, just so you know, I used to be a jeweler before I became a pastor. And this, my friend, is a diamond. It's a diamond. And he said, of course, you know, it has to be cleaned, it has to be polished, and all that stuff that they do to diamonds. And bottom line is that he had found acres and acres and acres and acres of diamonds. This is not a make-believe story, it's a true story. Look it up. And this was such a significant find, listen to this, that if you look for diamonds of Golconda, the mines of Golconda, and the De Beer mines, which are the largest mining fields in the world. So if you look, you know, the first farmer had everything under his feet. Everything was under his feet. But he went out chasing for diamonds somewhere else. He had everything. 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 He had everything right under his feet all along. You know, he never realized that he was living in acres of diamonds. He never realized the potential that that place had. And that's what happens to us. A lot of times, we're standing on something that we have no idea what the value that we're standing in, what kind of riches and treasures that we have. He thought that if he would go to South Africa and chase after this, and chase after that, you know, for what he was looking for, going from conference to conference, from meeting to meeting, from church to church, seeking for what he all along had under his feet. He was standing on acres and acres of diamonds. And you know what, the troubling thing for nowadays is that we see the story repeated again and again with some of us. You know, we are going out from place to place, chasing after the signs and wonders, chasing after the prophets, you know, looking for a word, looking for a word. We go here, give me a word, give me a word, give me a word. You know, and people don't realize the riches that we have right under our feet. The riches that we have with Christ in our lives. Amen? I'm speaking to someone tonight. You know, you keep searching here, you keep going over there and searching over there. Then you go over there and search over there. You go over there and then just another conference, another prophetic conference. You know, and some of those prophetic conferences are turning out to be some pathetic conferences. And I'm not saying all of them, some of them.